well-known interior designer from Canada and a good friend of mine, Tracy Fines.
Tracy Fines has been a successful real estate investor for over 25 years. Not only does she flip properties for massive profits, she designs and builds luxury custom homes and develops land. Tracy is an experienced investor and builder, published interior designer, and she has won numerous awards for design. Tracy is an award-winning author and international speaker who has been featured in international publications and on television. Having a zest for life, a love of great design, and an enthusiasm for creating beauty, she will uplift and inspire you to take massive action in your life to achieve your goals. And she wants to help you do the same. Please welcome Tracy Fines.
Okay, I'm going to get started here because as you remember last week, there was so much to talk about when it comes to money. Very, very popular topic. And, I just sort of scratched the surface when it comes to getting the money to do your projects. I'm going to move on to the next topic in the money space, and that's going to be about your budget. So I'm having people are asking me, how do I know what to allocate for for this project? Like, basically what it all comes down to, guys, is you really need to know what your end game is. Please take some notes. You'll have this as a recording. I will be posting it, of course, in the discussion, so you can download it to your computer. In fact, I think I might even just add it to the course, right? Because this is really informative stuff. So just understand that I generally talk about the end game, and then you have to work backwards from the end game. So you need to know what the market upside is. So upside is what the property could potentially sell for. So you're always going to be working from the end game backwards. So if the property could sell for, let's say, just $1 million, just to round it off, or let's say $500,000. What you need to do is you need to survey the market, survey the other houses that are for sale in that bracket, and you need to figure out the differences that are happening with the property that you're looking at buying and the properties that are on the market. So you have to assess the level of finish, what those houses that are currently on the market, what they have, and then that you have to be competitive with that. So you're going to have to add those things to the house that you're looking at potentially, or even do better, to make your house even stand out more. So you basically have to look at always the market and the trends of what's going on in that area or in that location. And then you got to work it backwards. So let's just say that the end value, the ceiling is going to be about $500,000. Then you're going to start looking at all the things that property will need to get to that level to be competitive. Maybe, it's probably new kitchen and new bathrooms, new floors, paint, maybe some landscaping. These are sort of typical things. Maybe the roof needs to get done. Maybe the AC needs to get done. So you're going to make your hit list of items that have to get done to bring it up to the level to be competitive. And I can help you with the budgeting of all those items. There's ranges, of course, because there's going to be different quality levels. Like kitchens, for example, I like to budget around $800 a lineal foot. So what's a lineal foot? When you have a kitchen that's 10 feet long by 10 feet wide, that would be 20 lineal feet if you're doing like an L-shaped kitchen. So it would be 20 feet of cabinets and countertop in general. So it's sort of a rule of thumb. So you can just say, okay, this kitchen, like for a 10, like if it's just 10 feet, let's just say it's going to be $8,000 to put cabinets in there. And then of course you're going to have your plumbing fixtures, which you can really just start to shop online to see what prices are. Like kitchen sinks kind of go from anywhere like from $150 probably at Home Depot all the way up to, $1,000 like for really great looking sinks. So you really have to just take a look at the end game of your competition, what they're selling, what they're specifying in that project. And then you're going to just, like I said before, you're going to try to just meet them at that level of finish, or you might add in a little couple of extra sparkly things that are a little bit nicer than theirs just to stand out. And so the countertops again, like is a wide range of finishes as well. So you could be going with something that's laminate, which is, I don't even do laminate. I think I've done laminate in one house. I think even like the most basic houses these days don't really go with laminate. It's usually some kind of a quartz or stone, which quartz and stone kind of start around $65 a square foot, I would say, and go all the way up to, easily over $100 a square foot for really luxurious marbles and, just sort of exotic stones. So you have to figure that into your budget. For me, when I do a kitchen, I typically say this kitchen's probably going to be about a $50,000 kitchen. And that's fairly, that's just sort of very, very general. It's really going to come down to what kind of market you're in, what kind of house, what level of house you're doing, what's the level of finishes. And that really is going to be generated by the market around you, the competitors around you. So there's really not a rule of thumb when it comes to that. Now, the thing that you can sort of hedge your bet with the costs is that you can bring your trades in before you purchase a property, or even on a visit. Let's say you see a house on your first visit and you think there's some potential there, and maybe you've done up some sort of rough numbers of, okay, the roof's going to cost me, let's say, approximately $8,000 or $5,000. You can basically just call up the trades that you're working with or you're assembling. Remember, I talk a lot about the dream team, and it's a long list of people. You can call them up and just say, okay, I know this is going to be a new kitchen for sure. So, could you just come with me to the visit and just give me sort of a ballpark of budgeting of where I should just sort of, be with this. And you really want to call on these experts as much as possible to help you, because that's what they're there for. And then they want to get the job too. So especially if they know you're going to do repeat business with them, you shouldn't feel afraid to get them to come out to the job site and check it out and see. Sometimes I call up even my electrician, like, what's this wiring situation here? Like, can I work with this aluminum wiring? Like, aluminum wiring is sort of a little bit of one of those types of wirings that, some people shy away from, because you can't connect copper to aluminum, and the new wiring is copper. I think it's copper. Yeah, I think it's pretty copper. So, you have to have an electrician that understands the aluminum wiring, can work with it. It's still workable. But my point is that when you're doing the budgeting process and before you buy a house, you can call your trades to come in. That's really the bottom line. They're there to support you. And yeah, they're going to get work out of it. So don't feel, don't feel badly to take some of their time, because ultimately they're going to get business. So once you figure out what that scope of work is for that property, and you've got, you put your budget numbers in there with the help of trades and suppliers and your own research, then you're going to come up with, okay, this property needs $100,000, let's say, in renovations. So now you've got a $500,000 end game for that property. And now you've figured out it's going to be about $100,000 to fix it up. And then, as I show in a lot of my my spreadsheets, there's going to be soft costs like the mortgage, insurance, the mortgage, the insurance is a soft cost as well, but the mortgage, interest, how many months this project's going to take means that each month you're paying interest. The mortgage broker fees, the land transfer tax, all these things have to go into that budget. And I've given you examples of that in the course. If any of you are having difficulty finding them, it could be on me. I maybe put them in the wrong place. So please let me know if you cannot find my outlines for budgeting a project. Okay, so once you know all the soft costs and all the hard costs and you have that budget figured out, then you're going to figure out, okay, how much time is this going to take me approximately? Is this like a 2-month job, 3-month job, 4-month job? Is this a year? And then you're going to basically say, okay, here's the differential between the cost of this project. So here's what they're asking to buy the house, for you to buy the house for. Plus here are all the costs to renovate a house, all the soft costs and the hard costs. And here's the upside. Here's what I can sell it for. So what's that differential? So if it's a $300,000 property to buy, and you're going to put $100,000 into it, plus some soft costs, maybe they're $25,000, let's just say. So you're at 300 plus 125, you're at 425. So it's $75,000. Is that enough for you to do that project? That's where you have to basically come back and say, okay, what kind of return on investment am I going for? And is this gonna be worth it to me to put the time and the energy and the money and whatever risk that is into this project in order to get out X number of dollars? And that's pretty much how I analyze every project. And so for me, once you've done this a bit, you kind of have a feeling for your market that you're working in. You've seen how I've done a lot of houses in the same area. Once you understand a certain market, it just will be easier for you and give you more confidence going forward to just, if you're successful in that area, just stick in that area because you already kind of understand the metrics of that area. Does that make sense, guys? Now, so I guess the other thing is proportional. Let's say you have this budget. See, I always work things from the back, from the end game back. So if there's no money left for me after I've paid for all the improvements that really need to get done to be competitive, then that's not going to be the property that I'm going to buy, right? You have to have a cushion there that's going to be profitable for you. So somebody was asking me last time about how you proportionally divide up the budget. Does it go, more to the kitchen? And of course it would go more to the kitchen and baths, but the point is that if you've got to do a new roof and you're going to do a new AC unit, you have to do them. There's really no choice. Otherwise you're not going to be competitive with other flips. Does that make sense, guys? So you really just have, instead of saying where the money should go, you really just have to do whatever the competitor has done to stay top of mind for a buyer. They're gonna, everyone's savvy these days too, right? The buyers are really savvy. Real estate shows are everywhere. People know, that this is generally, they know what things cost. They're, especially here in Ontario. Hey, hi, Tracy Fines here. And I'm so glad that you watched my video and my presentation because I love sharing what I do. I'm very passionate about it, and I want to help you do this too. So if this is interesting to you and you're excited to get involved in real estate investing, then click the link in the description below, and I invite you to join me at my live presentation where you can ask me questions and I can help you in the best way possible. So I look forward to sharing with you more at that presentation. See you then.